Yins, guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and that. My name is Josh. Today is August 15th. It is
Friday is Hawaiian shirt day. So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
Hope you guys had a good day off yesterday. I hope the Pirates did as well. Let's talk about Chicago in a little bit more. We'll try to make this one a little easier to listen to. I don't know why I said that like calm, as if it was going to be like easy listening radio. Like that's not, that wasn't the intent there. I guess we'll try to navigate this a little bit without being overly depressing. How about that? So we'll start right off the bat with something good. It's not all going to be good, but we're going to try, okay? Brian Reynolds hit 2 home runs Wednesday in that terrible game, and I didn't talk about that at all yesterday. So 2 home run game, 3-run homer, 2-run homer, and at the moment when he did it, it was cutting the lead in half and getting it within 1 run. Those are good signs, right? I mean, Reynolds, we've talked about this a bunch. He's not going to save this season. Certainly not for the team, but also not for himself. Like, it's going to be a bad season, even if he does well. But we really need him to do well. And we've seen these signs, and we talked about them on Sunday. We see a little bit more on Wednesday with a 2-homer game. I even told Jake on Sunday that I wouldn't believe in anything until he pulls that home run. All right, we've done it. He's pulled the home run. I did say Clemente seats, I believe, on Sunday, if we want to look for receipts and go back. I think I said he has to pull one into the Clemente seats. We're on the road. It still counts, right? He still pulled a home run. It was hit very well. So we'll keep an eye on Brian Reynolds this weekend in Chicago, see how it goes. Obviously, you don't want to pull him in Chicago. You want to go to center field, but either way, it's going to be interesting to watch and see how Brian Reynolds continues to go. If this is the beginning of what could be a little bit of a hot streak, then I think that we would all welcome that. And if he does that, is there a possibility that it could kickstart something, anything for this offense? Probably not, but it's worth thinking about. So now we take a turn. We went good. Now we go bad.
I'm bummed out.
Endy Rodriguez is going to have surgery on his elbow again. This is the ulnar nerve transposition surgery. No damage found to his UCL, but he's having surgery on his funny bone. The ulnar nerve, right? That's the funny bone. I looked it up before I started this thing. I validated that. He's having surgery on his funny bone, which is kind of funny. Obviously, this is not. But it is not related to TJ, or at least, I don't want to say it's not related, but at least they've said in one of the reports that there was no damage found to the UCL. This is something else. Listen, I mean, 2023, it was the flexor tendon surgery. TJ in 2024, now this. Plus, you had the lacerated finger, elbow inflammation. He's missed a lot of games. Listen, I'm not sure that Endy Rodriguez is ever going to make it at this point. And I'm certainly not willing to sit here and pine for his return. We're talking about a guy who has a 210 average and a 276 on base in 238 at bats and 75 games in the majors so far. 61 OPS plus in those 75 games. So I'm not in a hurry. I'm not pining for Endy Rodriguez. This type of thing leads into the conversation that we had on yesterday's show. Go back and listen to that one if you haven't. That we had on yesterday's show, where we were saying that Joey Bart very well could be a catcher on this roster next year. Even when we're saying, I don't know what this guy can be, he has a clear path to be possibly the backup catcher again next year So I don't know. Obviously, Flores is going to be in the running for that as well. They traded for him for a reason, but when I'm looking at that, I think when I'm looking at Endy's situation, rather, I think that he's the only other catcher on the 40-man. There's not anybody else that's really that close outside of Flores. And so Bart could be retained for that reason, just for depth even. He could be back because you certainly cannot rely on Endy Rodriguez at this point. Maybe he still does something in the majors. I don't know. A lot of arm troubles. I don't know how he doesn't make a move to first base, and he's not a really big guy to be playing first base, but he's not going to the outfield, and catcher might not be it either. So I have no idea. So let's talk about a little bit more of what yesterday's conversation was. It could be taken a couple ways, and we got some really good comments on it on the YouTube page. If you guys are watching on YouTube, comment below. I love to hear the stuff. Your guys' takes underneath our videos are helpful. We get to more of a pulse of what you guys are thinking about what we're talking about and whether or not these topics are engaging and everything. So comment below. Definitely appreciate that. But there were some good comments on yesterday's show, and just wanted to kind of level set because I had a couple conversations about them as well. And like I said, it can be taken a couple different ways. Obviously, one incredibly for lack of a better word, pessimistic or negative about it, feeling like there's no hope at all. In saying that there's no direction for this team. We were talking about the guys that are playing right now. Go back and listen if you haven't. So if you have, then I don't have to try to explain that portion of it. I guess what I'm trying to get to is like the true intent there was that there is no direction, but that doesn't mean that they're completely void of anything good. There are some things that are good. And I think that we sometimes blow up and go to the extreme one way rather than taking, obviously the frustration and saying like, okay, but how do I be fair about this? And the true intent of the conversation was to give them direction, not just say there's nothing there, right? And there's no hope. There's always hope in baseball. There's always hope in sports, specifically these leagues. Even baseball, without the cap system and everything, there is still a path. There are still things that can be done. Yada yada yada. We don't have to go into that today. I think Jake and I are probably going to take a stab at some hope this Sunday. If this series goes bad all weekend, we're all going to need it. And also I'm forecasting, so there's a chance we fail at that and it ends up just being the opposite of that. But we're going to take a chance of saying like, okay, well, we talked about direction. We talked about finding out from guys. Now, what are we finding out? What is the direction that we could come to? And I don't know, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that on Sunday and go from there. So let's talk about this series. It is
Friday is
I let it go a little too long. We got to do the whole thing now.
Is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
So anyway, let's talk a little bit about the games that's going to start today and the rest of the weekend. I don't know why MLB.com has no probable pitchers for the Pirates at all. I did find somewhere that we've got Burrows and Heaney scheduled for Saturday, Sunday. I don't really know what's going on with that. I guess we'll wait and see, and we'll talk about that on Sunday. Evan Sisk is a guy who's going to be there. He's being called up from Indy. Cam Sanders being sent down. Listen, Evan Sisk, here's something fun. He was drafted by the Cardinals in 2018. He was traded to the Twins for J.A. Happ in 2021, former Pirate. Then traded by the Twins to the Royals for Michael A. Taylor in 2023. Former Pirate. Before he was a Pirate, but former Pirate. and then traded to the Pirates this deadline in the Bailey Falter deal. So kind of some weird ties right there in his career path. He's 28 years old, and he's pitched in 5 games in the majors, and they were this year. He made his debut this year. So I don't know, 3.77 ERA for the Royals AAA club this year. I think he's thrown 5 innings for Indy, and so the ERA is going to be, I think the ERA is up over 10, but obviously in that small of a sample, I think he's right around a 4 ERA on the season. He's a lefty, strikeouts, and a lot of walks. So they desperately needed somebody else in this bullpen. It's been getting banged around, and when you are struggling, you get replaced in this league. I wish that was true all the time. I wish that was consistent and whatever else, or that there was somebody else that you could find to actually do better. But
this is fine.
Anyway, Cam Sanders is being optioned, and Evan Sisk is coming up. So we got another reliever this weekend, and they really needed another reliever. I mentioned that the Pirates' probables are not listed. However, the Cubs are. All 2:20 p.m. start times for this whole series this weekend, which is kind of cool. Some day games at Wrigley. Sure, I'll go for that. Colin Ray goes tonight. We don't know who's going for the Pirates yet. I'm sure maybe even by the time you listen to this in the morning.
Yeah, it is a good morning there, little man.
Maybe you already know, but I don't. Saturday, Mike Burrows is assumed, and he's going up against Shota Imanaga. And then Sunday, Andrew Heaney is assumed against Javier Assad. So the Cubs are in second place. They're a very good baseball team right now. I don't have a lot of hope the way the Pirates are playing right now and the way that they're giving playing time to certain people. I even if they change the playing time, I don't have a whole lot of hope for this series on the road. I would assume you can probably try to get one of them. Outside of that, you're probably looking at a series loss. Just don't get swept, and I think that we'll be fine with that, I guess, at this point in the season. This is where we're at, guys. This is where we're at with this team.
I'm bummed out. Yeah.
So anyway, that's all we're going to have for today on Friday. So hope you had a great week. Have a great Friday. Let's hope the Pirates don't spoil your evening plans. Go out and enjoy yourself this evening, because they will not have to be playing, and you won't have to look for the score and get depressed in the middle of your night out or whatever. So I don't know. I might have a night out. We might go do an escape room tomorrow. I don't know. You got a free evening, right? Go out and have some fun. Let's play some music and get out of here. Happy Friday, everybody.
Friday.
And we'll talk to you again on Sunday night, 9 p.m. Live show, YouTube. Thanks, guys. Let's go, Bucs.
Thanks for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Subscribing to your platform of choice is the best way to be notified for new episodes. And now, new episodes every weekday. Remember, live shows with my dad and Uncle Jake are Sundays at 9 p.m. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and join them in the live chat every Sunday. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2 Buctober. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucs.